Hey there, it's Dina from IDon'tGetItTutoring.com. In this video, I will discuss rotations. Let's get started. So rotations, it's all in the name. When you perform a rotation, you're rotating something. So that will go there for our definition. You are rotating a geometric object. Now, in order to rotate something, you are changing its direction in a sense. And its orientation. You are not changing its shape, and you're not changing its angle measure, and you're not changing its length. You're just basically changing how it's positioned. You're changing where exactly and how it lies on the plane. So let's get into it. I am going to try to do my best to make a coordinate plane. Okay. Oops. Good enough. And now, just so the axes stand out, I'm just going to highlight those in blue. Okay, let's get started. So let's say we have a geometric object, like this triangle right here. And this triangle has points labeled A, B, and C. Point A is 1, 3. Point B is 1, 1. And point C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, we want to rotate this triangle 90 degrees clockwise. Whoa, what do you mean by 90 degrees clockwise? Let's go over some rules. So, for rotations, you have to follow these rules when doing it graphically or just when doing it on with numbers without graph paper. Either way, the process is the same. It's not like you're doing any math. All you're doing is just switching numbers and signs. So 90 degrees, right, we know is a right angle. So if we want to shift something 90 degrees, we are basically taking it and let me try to illustrate. If we have something oriented right here, we're going to try to make a right angle and rotate it exactly 90 degrees. Now, it also depends in which direction. We can rotate things clockwise, which you're going to see with 1C. Clockwise is in the direction of a clock. If you've seen a regular clock with the two hands, that is this way. It goes from right to left. Counterclockwise, which is with two C's, so that's counterclockwise. That's against the direction of the clock. So it's actually going from left to right. Okay? Now, when we want to rotate something 90 degrees clockwise, that's technically the same as rotating it 270 degree, 270 degrees. This is not cooperating. Okay. 270 degrees counterclockwise. Why is that? Because if we rotate something like I did in this example, clockwise, 90 degrees, that's also the same as taking it and rotating it counterclockwise 270 degrees. And how do I get the number 270? Because one full rotation is 360 degrees, the amount of degrees in a circle. And 360 minus 90 is 270. Voila. There we go. Now, to get down to the rules and how to change the signs, we have a point x comma y. This is going to be our model point over here. Rules for x comma y. Okay. Okay, so 90 degrees clockwise or 270 degrees to counterclockwise, you're basically moving x and y, you're switching them, and you're also making x negative. So you're making it y negative x. So let's say we had the point 3,5 and we want to move it 90 degrees clockwise. All you do, make it 5, 3, and then boom, you make the 3 negative, and then there you go. That's 90 degrees clockwise. To rotate something 90 degrees counterclockwise, that's the same as rotating it 270 degrees clockwise. And in order to do that, once again, y comma x, you would switch the numbers, and this time you switch the sign of the y. So once again, 3 comma 5, if we did it counterclockwise 90 degrees, that would be negative 5, 3. Okay? And if we want to rotate something 180 degrees, all we do is we change the sign of x and y, and we keep them exactly as they are. And 180 degrees doesn't really have a direction because it's the same regardless. 180 plus 180 makes 360. So whether you do it in one direction or the other, doesn't really matter because you end up in the same place. And 180 clockwise would be 180 counterclockwise. So it's the same thing. And like we said, it would just be negative x, negative y. And then there you go. So if we had 3, 5, that would become negative 3, negative 5. Boom. There you go. So all you have to do for these rules is memorize them. There aren't that many great tricks to memorizing them. You kind of just, this is just something you have to know. But yeah, this is something you just really have to memorize, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. So now we're going to take these rules and we're going to apply them to the example that I made here with the triangle. So if we wanted to rotate, not rotate, what am I saying? Yes, rotate. If we wanted to rotate this triangle 90 degrees clockwise, what do we have to do? We have to follow this rule right here. We make it y negative x. So A would turn into A prime, B into B prime, and C into C prime. And then their points would be 3, negative 1, 1, negative 1, and 1, negative 4. And then we plot. A prime is 3, negative 1. Label that. B prime is 1, negative 1. And C prime is 1, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. That is a 90-degree rotation. And as you could see, it makes a right angle if you Ooh, this is a little messy, but if you were to draw a line from each point to the origin between itself and its image or pre-image, you would see that those two lines are perpendicular to each other. So that's pretty cool. Shows how it's exactly 90 degrees. So yeah, pretty much memorize these rules and apply them in graphically, or even without graph paper. It's the same exact process. So yeah, once again, memorize them and you're golden for rotations. I really hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.